Episode 56 August 1st, 2024 UK Would smoke emissions go down into your neighbor's garden? In Episode 56 1 United States including Gloster Mississippi and the demand for wood pellets by the European Union 2 California. Tens of thousands told to avoid using grills 3 Colorado 4 Montana 5 Washington D.C. 6 Canada 7 A, United Kingdom 7 B United Kingdom London. By their nature wood burners don't affect the property they are actually being used in because most stoves are tightly sealed. But this means that emissions go up the chimney and down into your neighbor's garden 7C United Kingdom Oxford. Oxford smoke control expansion and wood stove emissions. What you need to know: RAWSEP View wood does not have to be wet to produce dangerous levels of air pollution. 8 India 9 PM2.5 and human health. Main content. 1 United States including Gloster Mississippi and the demand for wood pellets by the European Union. The Associated Press. Wood pellets production boom to feed European Union EU demand. It's come at a cost for black people in the south of the United States. Wood pellet production skyrocketed across the U.S. South to feed the European Union's recent push for renewable energy, but residents near manufacturing plants, often those in poor rural swaths, believe the process is making people sick. RAWSEP View Who are the parties who were interviewed for this article? On side 1 2 women in Gloster, Mississippi. Residents from Gaston, North Carolina to Uniontown, Alabama. The Dogwood Alliance. The Southern Environmental Law Center SELC, the National Resources Defense Council NDRC, and a woman who is a Brown University assistant epidemiology professor studying health impacts of industrial pollutants on Gloster residents. On side 2, the United Kingdom-based wood-burning power plant Drax, which also has wood pellet manufacturing plants in the United States South, and is expanding into the United States West Coast. Drax is joined by the wood pellet manufacturing industry spokespeople. On side 3, the United States Biden administration Treasury Department, which is contemplating not just continuing tax credits for industrial wood pellet manufacturing, but expanding tax credits under the Inflation Reduction Act IRA to wood-burning manufacturing plants in the United States. On side 4, scientists who have argued at least since 2018 in letters to the government that wood burning is not carbon neutral. On side 5, the European Union that is increasing its demands for wood pellets for burning in industrial plants to replace coal burning. RAWSEP View: although wood burning emits 2.8 times the CO2 and PM2.5 as coal burning, the scientifically debunked theory of carbon neutrality of coal burning posits that wood burning emissions do not have to be counted toward each country in the world's climate goals. This non-counting of carbon emissions from wood burning means that wood burning is popular with countries that would like to show they are meeting their climate goals on paper, though not in reality. What is the theory of carbon neutrality of wood burning? The debunked scientific theory of carbon neutrality of wood burning posits that because a tree can be planted in place of a cut-down burn tree, the carbon emitted from burning the cut-down tree can be ignored and erased from statistics of carbon PM2.5 and CO2 emissions from wood burning power plants in every country around the world when calculating whether each country is meeting its climate goals of reducing carbon emissions. RAWSEP View: the government should not provide subsidies or tax relief to industrial wood burning nor industrial wood pellet production in the United States. The wood burning industry states that this wood burning should continue, presumably because it is called renewable. Wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burn tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burn tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously. And wood burning emits carbon in both CO2 and PM2.5 forms, and PM2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burn tree. Wood burning emits 90% PM2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many unscientific beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the eco-design wood stove. An international convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View. The reader may very well ask, what does industrial wood burning air pollution have to do with indoor residential wood burning? A ban on wood burning should include indoor residential wood burning. In the past, it may have been more difficult to identify where the wood smoke was coming from when it came from inside a house, but now we have purple air PM2.5 monitors which can be placed hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. The PM2.5 level data from these purple air PM2.5 monitors can show the source of the pollution, which is often indoor residential wood burning, and purple air PM2.5 monitors can reliably and accurately show that PM2.5 is above Environmental Protection Agency National Ambient Air Quality Standards EPA NOx of above 35 micrograms per cubic meter in a 24-hour period, above 9 micrograms per cubic meter annually, or above the World Health Organization PM2.5 safe limits of 5 micrograms per cubic meter. Wood burning emits 90% PM2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. In comparison, after testing the cleanest burning indoor residential wood stove in the United Kingdom, the eco-design wood stove, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM2.5 and CO2 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Excerpt from the article below. The wood burning industry argues that replanting of trees will eventually absorb carbon produced by burning pellets. Scientific studies have found firing wood pellets puts more carbon immediately into the atmosphere than coal. Pollution from biomass-based facilities is nearly 3 times higher than that of other energy sectors, according to a 2023 paper in the journal Renewable Energy. In a 2018 letter, hundreds of scientists warned the EU that the additional carbon load from burning wood pellets means permanent damages, including glacial melting. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization. July 26, 2024. Gloster, Mississippi. This southern Mississippi town's expansive wood pellet plant was so close to a 59-year-old woman's home that she sometimes heard company loudspeakers. She says industrial residues coated her truck and she no longer enjoys spending time in the air outdoors. Dobbins feels her life and health were better before 2016 when United Kingdom energy giant Drax opened a facility able to compress 450,000 tons of wood chips annually in the majority black town of Gloster, Mississippi. To her, it's no coincidence federal regulators find residents are exposed to unwanted air particles and they experience asthma more than most of the country. Her asthma and diabetes were once under control, but since a 2017 diagnosis of heart and lung disease, the 59-year-old woman has frequently lived at the end of a breathing tube connected to an oxygen canister. Something is going on, and it's all around the plant, said the 59-year-old widow who raised 2 children here. Nobody asked us could they bring that plant there. To California. Tens of thousands told to avoid using grills. Newsweek, avoid burning wood in your fireplace or fire pit. 3A, Colorado. Douglas County Sheriff weekly moves from Stage 1 to Stage 2 fire restrictions. Douglas County Sheriff's Office fires contained within fireplaces and wood-burning stoves within buildings only. Fire suppression or fire department training fires. Violation of Stage 2 fire restrictions in place for unincorporated Douglas County beginning July 31, 2024. 3B, Colorado. As wildfires burn along the Front Range, El Paso County Sheriff implements Stage 1 fire restrictions. Colorado Springs KOA wood-burning stoves at private residences in areas cleared 3 feet distance of all flammable materials. The use of any fireworks without a 3C. Colorado Greeley. Wildfire smoke may compound the Front Range's ozone problem this week. KUNC. The alert comes on the heels of a forecast that shows PM2.5, a category of particulate matter that includes the most harmful components of 3D Colorado. Mile-high smog. Understanding Colorado's air pollution. CU Anschutz Newsroom. James. In Colorado, one of the major concerns is particulate matter PM, and there are multiple sizes of particulate matter, PM10, PM2.5, and PM14A. Montana Pablo. 4B, CSKT to clear the air with Amish business. Charkayusta.com. Charcusta News. Smoke from a large wood burn pile can be seen from across a field. The tribe has had problems with Amish following burning regulations. 4C. Montana. St. Ignatius. Confederation of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribes. CSKT to clear the air with Amish business wood burning. RAWSEP View. This is a news article from 10 years ago which shows a Native American tribe confederation concerned with the health impacts on them of neighborhood wood burning. Wikipedia. The Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribes of the Flathead Reservation are a federally recognized tribe in the U.S. state of Montana. The government includes members of several Bitterroot Salish, Kootenai, and Pin-de-Oriles tribes and is centered on the Flathead Indian Reservation. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization. May 15, 2014. For over 3 weeks, a smoldering fire has burned on their property, continuing to cause a disturbance. CSKT National Resources Department (NRD) held a meeting to determine future action. NRD agreed to handle the air quality issue with the Amish, instead of going through another entity. The Confederation of Salish and Kootenai tribes have been dealing with burning permit issues with the Amish community spanning back 7 years. Recently, the CSKT Division of Fire and Natural Resources Department have received complaints on smoke from smoldering fires from neighbors of Foothills Post and Lumber LLC, an Amish-owned business. CSKT Air Quality Program faced problems with the Amish communities in previous encounters. Their records show that CSKT approached them several times before when an Amish family had been burning tires, which is prohibited under the CSKT burning permit regulations. At times, some Amish have also lacked burning permits after the open burning season closed. A CSKT Air Quality Program specialist approached the Amish owner of Foothills Post and Lumber on April 30th to inform him that the smoke created from his burn piles were causing a disturbance. The higher amounts of precipitation from the last few months caused added moisture in burn and wood piles, resulting in more smoke. A CSKT NRD Air Quality Program manager says, the Amish owner seemed very compliant and apologetic. We got the impression that they were going to put the fire out like we told them to, but after we left the premises they did nothing to fix the issue. For over 3 weeks a smoldering fire has burned on their property, continuing to cause a disturbance. The Air Quality Program has made an effort to stop the burning, but since the Amish owner holds a required 10-day burning permit, future action is limited. CSKT Division of Fire is working on redrafting a new burning permit. An added clause to the conditions and regulations will state, fires must be completely extinguished if any emission is detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of any person, if it causes damage to property or business, or if it causes a nuisance to others. If the new burning ordinance is approved, the Environmental Protection Agency will back CSKT, which will allow for federal marshals to be called in if ordinances are not met. Because of a few bad players, we have to increase restrictions. 4C Montana. What chemical compounds are found in Montana wildfire smoke? Mixed 97.1 coarse particulate matter is airborne junk larger than 10 micrometers. Most of the smoke-related haze in Montana is listed as PM2.55. Washington, D.C. Don't underestimate smoke. The Atlantic. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Laura. How much do scientists know at this point about the health risks from wildfire smoke? Zoe. We know a lot about PM2.5, the particulate matter that is a main component of wildfire smoke. We know that it is small enough to slip into the bloodstream, and that rates of Parkinson's and dementia may go up. 6 Canada, British Columbia, Kelowna. Civic closures for BC Day. Statutory holiday. City of Kelowna. A reminder that outdoor wood burning is not permitted on any public or private property within city limits. If residents spot a wildfire smoke. 7A, United Kingdom, London. E-bikes. St. John's Wood battery blaze prompts London Fire Brigade warning. BBC. The burning battery was put in a communal stairwell in St. John's Wood, blocking an escape route. 7B, United Kingdom, London. By their nature, wood burners don't affect the property they are actually being used in because most stoves are tightly sealed. But this means that emissions go up the chimney and down into your neighbor's garden. Wood-burning stoves should be banned in London due to big impact on air pollution. Expert urges. Yahoo News. Canada. Wood burners are the single largest source of tiny air pollution particles in the UK, but just 8% of Britons burn solid fuels indoors. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 non-profit organization. A ban on wood-burning stoves should be considered in London, as they are having a big impact on air pollution, health experts have said. A professor of community health and policy at Imperial College London called on policymakers to be more inventive and progressive in their approach to wood burners, and said it is something which could be legislated against to protect the health of Londoners. Wood burners are the single largest source of tiny air pollution particles in the UK, but just 8% of Britons burn solid fuels indoors. Government data shows that emissions of harmful pollutant PM2.5 from domestic wood burning increased by 124% between 2011 and 2021. It represented a fifth, 21% of total PM2.5 emissions in 2021. PM2.5 can penetrate deep into lungs and the blood and cause serious health problems including coronary heart disease, stroke, and lung cancer. Sales of two of the most polluting fuels, wet wood and house coal, have been phased out under laws introduced by the government. New wood burners have also been required to meet an eco standard since last year, but a government report found these remain a significant source of pollution. By their nature, wood burners don't affect the property they are actually being used in because most stoves are tightly sealed. But this means that emissions go up the chimney and down into your neighbor's garden. So it is having a big local impact. Earlier this year, the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, implemented planning guidance, which set air pollution limits for home and office developments that would not be met if wood burners were installed. However, councils have only issued a handful of £300 fines to homeowners who have broken air pollution rules by burning wood indoors, despite tens of thousands of complaints. Polling conducted for The Guardian earlier this year found that more than two-thirds, 67% of Londoners, backed a ban on wood burners. Support for a ban was significantly higher in the capital than any other region in the country. 7C. United Kingdom. Oxford smoke control expansion and wood stove emissions. What you need to know. RAWSEP View. Wood does not have to be wet to produce dangerous levels of air pollution. PM2.5. Oxfordshire Guardian. Under the Clean Air Act 1993, the fire should not emit dark smoke due to burning waste. This includes the burning of such material in your garden. Oxfordshire Guardian. Particulate emissions, particularly from domestic wood stoves. The particles originating from the incomplete combustion when burning wet wood. 8A. India. Air pollution limits in India are too high to prevent death. Study says Nature researchers attribute these fatalities, 7.2% of all deaths annually, to inhaling particulate matter PM2.5 at levels far exceeding WHO 24-hour 8B. India government. No conclusive data on pollution disease link. Delhi News. Times of India. The average PM2.5 value was 61 microns above WHO and NOx guidelines due to industrial pollution, transport, and biomass burning. Paris. 9A. PM2.5 and disparities. Study tracks air pollution, reveals demographic disparities in exposure levels. Dynamite News. The research finds exposure to particulate matter 2.5 microns, or PM2.5 particles. This actually opens the door for new analysis for 9B. PM2.5 and dementia. Roundup. Landmark study links wildfire smoke inhalation to increased dementia. Xinhua. Specifically, for every 1 microgram per cubic meter increase in fine particulate matter PM2.5 from wildfire smoke, the odds of a dementia